Hello, it's Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Thursday afternoon slash Friday morning Zoom edition, depending on where in the world you are. But here in the USA, the markets have been kind of whack this week, pumping up, crashing down, recovering, and then going sideways, kind of, sort of. Um, I was on the CryptNation call today about 3 hours ago. And Brendan, the main trader, talked about how he likes to trade, which is very different than how I like to trade. I like dips and retraces. That's what I like. I like doing something that's already done. And he focuses more on momentum and catching the trend, and that's good too. We're in a bull market, so that's a reasonable way to trade. So I think he can use potentially both approaches. But since he went over his approach so thoroughly in his Zoom call, I'm not going to really do that. I'm going to focus on more of the dips and the retraces on my Zoom, which is how I've been trading for 5 years anyway. So let's um, let's take a look at the charts. We will go to the Bitcoin chart. And I wanted to emphasize something Brandon was talking about, or Brendan or Brandon, can't remember. So anyway, here where we are on the Bitcoin 1 hour chart, and he was talking about Bitcoin sticking its head above 100 for a little while, then ducking back down like a gopher. You know, I thought that was kind of cute. And I was going to draw. How I drew this a little line here for 100K to illustrate that a little better. There we go. And I will, shoot, that didn't work. Now it's on like a million. Well, here's the 100K, give or take, right here. And we can see many times on the 1 hour chart, it's sticking its head above. So that shows its resistance. Um, the market is not convinced that this is where it's going to stay. I'd like to see this turn into support, like we have down here in the 90K area. We have strong support here. Every time Bitcoin is dipped down here, people buy it up, and it shoots back up to 100K or in the high 90s. We've been seeing that for the past week or so, but it's just not holding. So the market's a little schizo about how it wants to address Bitcoin's new all-time high. So I've been trading altcoins. I haven't been doing much with Bitcoin. I've got about half of my hodl bag left. Made a couple sales. I think one at around 70 and one at 89.
Day trading.
And that was my plan. So plan your trade, trade your plan. And I'm holding the rest, so I'm not going to sell it.
So
Now, what do we want to do with altcoin alert information? I think we want to make some day trades and some short-term swing trades. So let's look at some of those options. Before I do, anybody have anything they want to say or comment about the markets overall before we look at specific trades on Altcoin Alert?
Well, I want to mention that Brandon uses a 1 day chart, which you have more detail on yours because you do the 1 hour. And I like yours better because I'm more day trading than he is.
Right. Yeah. If you're doing longer term trading, you're going to use a longer term time frame on your charts. So like on my Ethereum chart, I got the day up, and we're looking at how it's broke the structure here. It's been hanging around 3,500 seems to be support, and then it's pushing. We did break above 4,000 briefly last Friday, but it didn't hold. So 4,000 for Ethereum seems to be 100K for Bitcoin. some nice round numbers that we'd like to see break and turn into support, but it hasn't happened yet. But regarding what Tama said, yeah, I'm a day trader, short-term swing trader. I want to get in and out. I want to see my balance grow, 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 grow. I don't like holding coins for very long. It's just not how I trade. It's not how I was taught. So I'm trying to share with you guys a little different approach. And I think Altcoin Alert's a really good tool for finding coins to day trade. All right, so with that in mind, let's bounce over to AA. And
AJ, I do have a quick question for you since I'm
okay,
fairly new to your calls.
sure.
So on your day trades, are you looking for a certain percentage that they go up by before you sell? I mean, do you have an average that you go by?
It's a good question. You beat me to it. On my day trades, which I hope last like 1 to 4 hours at the most, I'm looking for a 1% to 1.5% move on the charts. I'm trading on a foreign exchange using leverage, 10x leverage. So for me, those are going to be, 10, 13%, 15% profits on each trade. On my short-term swings, I usually do those on Coinbase, spot trades, and then I look at support and resistance to determine where I get out on those. But I usually set a take profit right after I buy. So I think that answers your question.
It does. Thank you very much.
All right. And I'll go through each one of those when we go through these coins. So,
Okay.
all right, Altcoin Alert, gonna refresh and look at the AA score, be the first sort I do. And come on.
So using
And looking for values 80 and higher. Sometimes I'll cheat a little bit in the high 70s.
where you put up.
Aave is here at 80.8. SLP at 78.7. And Sushi at 76. I had an alert on Sushi and I've got a trade in on it now. It's gone against me. I've had to make an additional purchase on it. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But let's look at Aave. That one's been pretty active lately.
Basically what you're
I'm hearing some background noise, like someone's whispering. Did we not do that? Please mute yourself. All right, thank you. All right, so here we are on Aave. I'm on the 15-minute chart. This is my day trading layout. If you're new to my Zoom call and you want a copy of this, I can send it to you. I can send you this link, and you can get a copy of this chart and do with it what you want. Quick review of it. I've got the supply and demand visible range, a free indicator from Lux Algo. I'm using for support and resistance. The red zone is resistance. The green zone is support. And my favorite trades are those that come out of the green and break through some of these values on the RTI. And those are setups I like to trade. When something's dipped and it's recovering, those are my favorite trades to make. And I also trade on leverage on the short side, so coins that have shot up and are starting to dip. That's the other trade I like to make. So at the moment, we're the relative trend index, we're just slightly below the 80, maybe above, a little bit above actually. And then in a strong bull market, you don't have to wait till it goes below the 20. You can get in at the 50. So like right about here, when it breaks above the 50, that would be a good entry. And then you can look at your cumulative delta indicator for confirmation on that. I haven't been using this as much as I was before. Just the market's been so crazy lately that you overheated that once it hits this 50 and shoots back up again, it's usually a good trade. So I like to set alerts on the RTI, right click, add an alert. So for the 50, you can choose RTI crossover 50. can also go crossing up and type in 50. If you're trading both directions like I do, instead of crossing up, you'll choose to enter a channel, 80 on top, usually 20 on the bottom. Once per bar close. And you can see it forms a rectangle on the RTI. Notifications, notifying the app on my phone, show toast notification, a pop up on my laptop. I play a sound also on my laptop. And there's a few you can choose from, some categories here. And now we've got these voice, these are a little creepy, but kind of fun to use. Like this one, it'll say, hey, psst. So that's a little weird when that happens. But it's all good fun. Doesn't matter what alert you use, as long as it's something that gets your attention. Click create and you're good to go. Cancel that one because I already have one on here for Aave. And I'm trading both directions on this one. See, did I take a short today? I think I passed on the short. Took a long couple days ago on this one. And if you're trading on spot, you probably, if it breaks below the 50 and comes back up, which happened right around here, probably right around here, to the red zone is going to be 16%. That's an outstanding day trade. So if you get that dip below the 50 and it comes back up, that could be a good one. So I'm liking in the market we've been in the last week to 10 days, I've been using the 50 quite a bit. Okay, let's look at this as a swing trade. So now I'm gonna go over to my 1 hour layout, and I'm still using the supply and demand visible range for support and resistance. I'm using the SuperTrend for alerts because it's alert friendly, and the Trendilo LSMA, which is a moving indicator or moving average for confirmation. And this is showing one of my favorite entries when it's dipping down, coming out of the green zone, and then it turns, you get the signal from SuperTrend. That happens right here. And look, we're all the way up 30% in 23 hours. That's fantastic. But that was a benefit of the big dump we had a couple days ago, and then the recovery. So that's why I like this trading approach so much. And for an alert on the SuperTrend, right click. A direction change for each direction. If I'm using this, I'm usually looking for a long on a spot trade. And this is going to be a AA score purchase. And I'll probably go with a different alert. I like a handbell for my swing trades. Click create and you're good to go. Okay, any questions on Aave? It's both a swing trade and a day trade. We're a bit late to get into this one. 5 a.m. this morning would have been good, or actually on Wednesday. But we're a little late for that one now. So let's see what else we can find. That was an AA score. Another one I like is social activity. I'm going to match that up with trading activity. See if we can find matching these up. And you'll notice I ignore a lot of these small coins that I don't really know. And I tend to trade those on exchanges I'm familiar with, like Aave, Civic, Chainlink, Rocket Pool, Beam. These are older projects. Maker, Compound, Dusk. Let's look at, I had an alert on Uniswap today. Sui is one I like to trade on as a swing trade. Let's look at what's the one I saw in here. Chainlink. Yeah, they talked a little bit about this today. We'll look at this as a swing or day trade first. Come on, let's load. Okay, looks like the RTI just dipped. No, not quite. Don't know if I want to short this. Shorting in a bull run can be risky. You may want to employ a stop loss or hold some funds back to make additional purchases to improve your position. For now, I'd rather catch this break above the 50 like we had here on Tuesday night, and it made a really nice move. This is where we would have caught it. And, 30% to the red zone. That's awesome. So on the RTI, add an alert. Crossover on the 50 once per bar close. That was social activity sort. If you type something in on the alert name, TradingView will remember it. Yeah, I'm going to set this alert. All right, link. That dips below the 50 and breaks back up. The alert will go off, and I will consider that as a long trade. Okay, let's look at this as a swing. Yeah, we're a bit too late on the swing trade. I think we're going to see this in some of the others. Had we look at these yesterday, the day before, that would have been better entry time. Yeah, this buy signal is near perfect. Went off here, coming out of the green zone. Trendilo LSMA confirms and goes all the way up to the red zone. And yeah, that's good stuff. 23, 24%. Love it. So add an alert on SuperTrend. Check the buy once, and you know the rest from here. So, yep, I'm liking Link on as a day trade on the 50. For this setup, you might want to set another buy signal so it can go through the sell portion and then swing back up on the buy portion. And I'm getting background noise again, so mute all. Any questions on Link as a day trade or swing?
I have a question, CJ. Are you saying that you're jumping in these and jumping out at 1 to 1.5%?
On my day trades, yes. So that'd be the first setup I showed you with the RTI. So
Right.
these I'm looking for 1 to 1.5%. And I'm using a third party system to do additional purchases and enter trades and things like that. It's not available to you guys, so I don't talk much about it, but it's similar to 3 commas if you're familiar with that group. So that's why I have to set up ahead of time, what my profit is. And I like doing it that way anyway, and just piling up those, 10, 15% wins on leverage. And but you can pump up your balance pretty well, even getting 1 to 2% moves on spot trades. That's how I started. That's how I first learned how to trade. And then I eventually try to go to 3% and 5%. And that's good too. But on swing trades, I'm looking for 10 to 15% usually. And so that's going to be some of these bigger moves, like something like this on a swing trade. And a swing trade, I'm planning on holding for a few days, few weeks. So, I'm willing to wait, be a little more patient on those. Does that answer your question, Charlie?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
thank you. So these ones, you're staying in these for a little bit longer time until you see something that you don't like.
Yeah, and I might change my take profit. Like let's say this one doesn't get all the way to the red zone, it sort of peters out here and then starts to dip. I might get out there and take whatever profit I have, or I might be more patient, just give it some more time. So it's kind of
Which
up to
trade are
you.
you using the leverage on?
The
Are you using that on a day or
Yeah, the
just
day trades. I don't
just
I don't use leverage on swing trades very often.
okay?
I do short swings from time to time, but not very often.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so that's Link, and that was a social activity sort. Let's do a short-term sentiment sort. We'll match this up with Elder Impulse hourly. Push the way up. So Elder Impulse hourly, short-term sentiment. You not see many of these matches. Core matches, FXS. Yeah, I know. I've noticed that short-term sentiment isn't always a good productive sort. So I often bounce over to long term, and then that tends to give me more actual choices. RSR is bullish on both. That's about it. But if I go to long-term sentiment and match it up with Elder Impulse daily, then I get more candidates. Ave, Mana, Link, we looked at already. Maker, XCM, Zcash, Harmony. It's an older project. What do I want to look at? The Graph, GRT, AVAX, Chili's. I like Chili's.
How about Zcash?
Optimism. Someone wants to look at Zcash. Mr.
I was
Thomas.
thinking the same thing.
Really? Got some Zcash fans in here. All right.
I was looking at that earlier today.
Very well. And let's go to the day trade first. All right. So this one is in pretty good shape because it's below the 20 pointing down, so it should come back up pretty soon. So I like this. You can set an alert here on the RTI breaking above the 20. That's an easy one to set. Crossing up on the 20. You could leave it on only once or once per bar. This was a long-term sentiment sort. And you know where to go from here. So yeah, I like this one. Good call, guys.
I've been waiting for that one all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that one. If that
Yeah, me too.
went along on sushi, that's disappointing me though. I only want to take one per direction per account. That's how I usually trade. That sushi's gonna get stuck probably. All right, Ave alert. So if one of my alerts goes off during my broadcast, try to share that with you. And this is dipping below the 80. But it's shown some strength in this area. I don't know if I want to take this short or not. I think I'm going to pass. Okay, so where were we? Go back to Zcash. We were looking at the day trade. We set the alert on the breaking above the 20. Let's look at the swing. Go to the 1 hour chart. So we're in pretty good shape on the swing too. It's currently in a sell dipping down towards the green zone. So right click on your super trend. Select buy only once. This is long-term sentiment. And click create if you want to go ahead and set an alert on this. And when the trend changes and it's confirmed by the LSMA, should be coming out of the green zone, get in right about here. Probably ride all the way back to the red zone. Almost 20%. Love that. I like to set up a lot, so. But will it give us a buy signal, and will it go all the way back to where it was? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They usually do. Okay, any questions on Zcash? Okay, let's look at one more. So we've done pretty much all the sorts I like to do. 1 hour projected range. Well, that's intriguing. GMX is giving us a 2.47% in green values on both the upper and the lower. Then Raven Coin, which I trade from time to time, it's giving us a 5% on the upper, just a small loss on the lower, so that's pretty safe. Theta Fuel, even better. What's GMX? I don't even know that one. Let's type it in and see if we can find it. It's on Kraken, crypto.com. And then it's on some foreign exchanges as well. Look at Kraken. Not great volume on this. Okay. Last time it broke 50 did really well. It happened here. Into the red zone was, 17%. Love that. So I think you can set an alert on this. Crossing the 50. And good to go on a 1 hour. AA something. AA projected range. And you know what to do on the rest. I've got too many alerts set, so I'm going to pass on this one, but it's not bad. For those of you on Kraken, if you want to make a pretty good spot trade, wait for this one to dip down, break above the 50, and you get in right about here. Yeah, 5 or 6%. Good stuff. Okay, this one as a swing. I think we're too late. It's just turning red though. It's printed to sell. So we want to catch the next buy signal. Probably be around here somewhere. And 10%. So yeah, right click on the super trend. Choose the buy if you want to make a spot trade. This is 1H projected range. This sword is primarily for day trading though, so I'm not sure if I would use it for swing, but maybe, why not? Okay, any questions on GMX? Well, guys, that's about all I have. I've gone through 5 different sorts and coins, and hope it gives you a few things to look for and some different approaches. If you want my layouts on TradingView, email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com, or you can probably find me on the Slack group, and I could send you a link to my charts. So, any questions, comments, or broader things to discuss before we wrap it up? All right. Thanks for the new folks. Appreciate you guys showing up. We'll see you on Mondays and Thursdays.
Thanks, CJ.
Good luck with the neuro. Hope everything goes well.
Appreciate it. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks, CJ. Have a
Bye.
good night.
Bye-bye. Thanks again.